Oh, hey, I didn't see you come in. I guess you're here for the comedy show? Well, we got one of those. But before we get that started, patreon.com/The Bob and Katie Show. You guys should go there and become a part of this community. It's fun. You go there, you sign up, and you get a whole bunch of free, or no, I guess not free, but you get more comedy. Because everything we put out every week is free, but this stuff's, it's a little more, I don't know, it's a little more membershipy. It's a little more of a community. But, and we're trying to make that grow. We're trying to expand things. We're trying to, I don't know, just create something out of the funny that we try to do. But, we really would appreciate it, and we want you. It's you personally. Yes, I'm talking to you. I want you to come and be a part of the community. You get two things. One, you help out two people that are trying to make something out of whatever this is, trying to make it grow. And two, you get a lot more funny to listen to. It's good. So go check it out. Patreon.com/Bob and Katie Show. You can go to our Facebook page. It's linked on there. Just go now, be a part of the community. But, anyways, here you go. This episode. My parents were here, and we had a good time here in the living room. But I hope you enjoy it.
I remember it
roach
vividly.
Went inside his mouth.
There was so many giant roaches.
He had that little suction thing. Remember, he would wipe something and lay it over there and hit that button, and the thing would go.
Suck it up. Welcome, everybody, to the Bob and Katie Show.
I'm Katie.
And I'm Bob. And my makers are here tonight.
Your makers.
Say hello.
Hello.
Hey.
It's good to be back.
That's my
up,
dad,
dog?
Big Bob. Old Bob.
You guys say Big Bob.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Older Bob. My mom, Kathy.
Ever since we've had kids, and the kids call your parents Meemaw Pawpaw, I can't call them by their real names. It's weird. It's Meemaw Pawpaw.
Me, Mom, and Papa's good.
We got Bob and Bobby and Katie and Kathy. Hey?
Thank God there's no Catherines, though, right?
Her name is Catherine.
Is it?
Yeah.
Her real name, yeah. She's been your daughter-in-law for 11 years.
I didn't think it was Catherine. I didn't think it was Catherine, though.
Yeah.
Yup.
I was almost named Catherine.
Really? That would have been quite.
They almost named me Theodore.
I think you would have been a cute Theodore.
Yeah.
I do.
Teddy.
So there's a
She
real
said it, I didn't. So.
there's a real important reason why I wanted you guys to record
So
this
hold
tonight.
on. So what changed your mind from Theodore? Why did you change your mind from that?
I think that's my fault. When I seen him, I said, that's a Bobby Jr. And that changed.
Yeah, I was Theodore until
So you guys were
held me.
No, it wasn't Theodore.
That's what you told me my whole life.
No. What's your daddy's name? It was Robert Sheldon.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to name him Robert Sheldon.
No.
That's what you said until you called him Junior.
Yeah.
You told me my whole life my name was going to be Theodore.
No,
I am
didn't.
32 years old.
I didn't tell you that.
32 years of lies.
I never told you that.
Her web is unraveling right now.
Oh, I never
What
told
else
you
have you
that.
lied to me about?
I never told you that.
Am I adopted?
You're not mine? What?
There's no question about that.
No.
No, it was supposed to be Robert Sheldon. And
That
when
picture
you called him Bobby Jr., I said, no,
Oh
he
my
can't be Bobby
gosh.
Jr. if he's...
That's like something out of
You
a
gotta
movie,
change his
like
mind.
holding your brand new baby. Oh, he's this Junior.
Right.
That's so
That's
sweet.
where it happened, right there,
That's
just
so
like
sweet.
that.
Yeah.
The picture that I've got of all of us that with our arms crossed.
Mm-hmm.
You can't deny it is. We're all kin. You know what I'm saying?
There's no denying it. Sorry.
You just looked up and had more hair than the rest of us.
I did.
You belong to
You
the
got your mama's
mailman.
hair.
The mailman.
He's the mailman.
Oh,
Your face. You were like, what?
I forgot my dad was a mailman.
Lies, I tell you, lies.
My mom had sex with the mailman.
Oh my gosh. Things are getting a bit racy in here real fast.
Oh my god. I hope nobody finds out.
All right, I'm not admitting to nothing.
My whole family's gonna fall apart.
So you're going to tell us about your haircut now?
Yeah, I got a haircut. So this is what happened. Katie always cuts my hair. We do
What
it.
had happened was
She's making herself laugh. She's having her own
She's
podcast
so
in her
happy
head.
right now, though.
I'm
so
sorry.
happy.
Go ahead.
Okay, Katie normally cuts my hair. We do it, I don't know, like 11 o'clock at night, somewhere between 11 and 3. That's when she does it. And I needed my haircut because it was all fluffy. Well, I was at work, and a guy I was working with pulls out a card. We were talking about it, and he's like, I have a card for a free haircut I'm never going to use. And it was to...
Why wasn't this person going to use it?
I don't know.
That should have been a bad sign right there. Like, I'm never going to go here and let him cut my hair. Do you want it?
Are you done?
That was your first red flag. Yes, I'm done. Go
Do you
ahead.
think my hair looks bad?
No. I'm just saying, I would have taken that as a warning sign.
So it was to sports clips. So I was like, okay, I'm going to do that during my lunch. My thought was if I go and get my hair cut, it's one less thing she has to do.
Yes, thank God.
So I go in there and I'm sitting down and I'm looking at the wall and they have like all these different options. Mine was regular haircut and they had this thing called the MVP.
Ooh.
Yeah. And I was like, I want to do that. So I asked the lady, like when she called my name, and I was like, hey, I've got this coupon for a free haircut, but can I like upgrade it? Can I upgrade it? She's like, yeah, you just pay the difference. I said, well, let's do it. So she sits me down and she's like, how do you want your haircut? And I showed her a picture of my hair I had when you were in the hospital. And I was like, it's sort of like a mohawk. It's not like a mohawk, but it's pretty close. Can you do that? And she goes, okay. So she starts asking me questions. You want me to cut it right here? And I was like, look, this is on you. Don't mess
Be
up.
like, you're the professional here.
I was like, I don't ever get my hair cut out places. My wife always does it. I said, so just go for it. And she's trimming and cutting, and she's like, do you think this is wide enough? I said, look, here's the deal. I'm okay if it looks bad or good. Either way, I'm going to have something to talk about on my comedy show. She said, what? And I was like, yeah, I do a comedy show, so, make good. So now she's nervous.
Oh my gosh. What did you do, this poor
That was
lady?
a game changer.
Yeah.
That changed everything then, yeah.
But she did a good job. Now, let me tell you what this MVP's about, okay?
Yeah, what does that entail?
She cuts my hair, and then she goes, all right, let's go to the back. And I was like, what, the back? What's in the back? She's like, just follow me, and walks off. Like, I asked her a
Just follow
question.
me.
And she walked off, and I was like, all right, I guess we're going to the back. So we go into this dark room, these 4 little chairs, and she goes, pick one. So I sit down, and then she takes her clothes off. No, I'm joking. No, it was one of those sinks. So I'd like lay my head back and she washed my hair. But not only did she wash my hair, but like she soaped it up and then just massaged my head for like 5 minutes.
Oh my gosh.
Just like this right here.
Yes, that's
This all-
heavenly.
You like that? We're just going to make it awkward for my parents right now. They're at the table rubbing your head. So she does that for like 5 minutes and then rinses it out. And then she puts this hot towel around my face. It had to be 100 degrees. And with the towel on my face, she massages my cheekbones like this, right here. And I was just like,
Did you enjoy
and she goes, is everything okay? And I was like, I feel weird. And she goes, we'll see if this feels better. And I hear click, 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 click. And I'm like,
Oh no. So
all
the
of a sudden-
towel was still on your face.
yeah. And the chair starts vibrating. It was like a massage chair. And now it's like vibrating under my butt and on my back and stuff. So now I'm just, and she's like, is that better? And I was like, no, because I don't like stuff like that. Like I don't like it.
I don't like to be touched.
Yeah,
Don't touch me.
but I mean, like she did a good job. And it was, yeah, it would have been relaxing if it wasn't me.
Right.
Like my mind's like, I've got that towel over my face.
I can only imagine once the hot towel went on your
Yeah.
face, you're like,
I started to panic.
This is horrible.
Because like anything
Get
that gets in front of
off.
my face and it's hot.
You don't like the heat on in the car because
No.
you're like, it's in my face.
So I didn't like that.
I'd have been like Jim Carrey and the Grinch who stole Christmas when he cranked this thing up and it got to vibrating. This feels good. You know what I mean?
Not me. I don't like it. So she gets done and she takes me back up front again and puts me back in the chair and then puts another hot towel on my shoulders and pulls out this gun thing and sticks it to my back and turns it on and it goes
Oh my god.
and she's running it down like my shoulder bones in the middle of my back and just like massages my shoulders and my back and my arms.
I
And
want to go. Where's
Right?
I was like, this is...
Like, I don't need my haircut, but can I have the other stuff?
You know how much that cost?
How much?
Just guess.
Oh.
Like if I didn't have the coupon, like how much do you think that would cost?
With the haircut? Or are you talking about how much you paid?
So how much it would cost if I didn't have a coupon? If I walked in there and I was like, I want all that stuff.
$30, $40.
Mom?
With the haircut,
Yeah, everything.
$100.
$100, Dad.
50.
$25.
Really?
Isn't that crazy?
Well, if it was somewhere else, I would have imagined maybe more, but I know they're kind of
What's the name of the place?
Discount.
It would have
Kinda
been
like Quick Cut.
25
Sport
for the
clips.
haircut and the massage.
Yeah.
And it's where?
Sports clips.
Where's that at?
Like a mile away from my store in North Myrtle Beach.
I can't go to North Myrtle.
I think
I'm going to tell you
there's
what,
one in Wilmington, right?
we're about to have
I'm
a
pretty sure there's
$25
one.
bill every month because it's awesome. Got it done right on my lunch break and everything. It was great.
I want to go.
Right? Girls' Day.
I feel like I need the hot towel thing.
I want that thing in the
I want the
bag.
massage gun.
Yeah, me too.
I need it all over.
It's actually geared towards men.
What?
The whole place, I think, is geared towards men.
Nuh-uh.
I mean, would they turn away a female customer?
Probably, yeah.
What?
She said, what? They better not turn me out.
Turn you out? No, ain't nobody turn nobody out.
Is that what that back room's all about?
Whoa.
That's crazy. So you guys want to hear something else weird that happened?
Sure.
We get emails and messages and I respond to everything because I mean we're not overwhelmed at this point. So I mean like it's not difficult for me to like respond back to everybody. So I get a message one day and it just says, "Hi, I'm Laura." And this is to my personal Facebook page. So not the Bob and Katie show one.
Is this
but
the
mine.
same one you were telling me about?
It was, yeah. So I already told Katie about this, but it's pretty great. Now, and I said, "Hi, Laura. What can I do for you?" And she responds, "Oh, I'm just an admirer." And I'm like, "Oh, great." Now, my first thought was, I get these friend requests sometimes from like Jasmine somebody,
Yeah.
and like I'll click on it and it's automatic. Oh, it's
She's like a supermodel, but she
Yeah.
only has like one friend.
right. Yeah, it's like, oh, this is porn. Is what this is. So I figured this was like some kind of scam or something. And anyways, I go, "An admirer of what? LOL." And she said, "Well, you're handsome." It's like, okay. Now I'm like, I don't know what to do. So I automatically I clicked on her profile, right? And we're not friends. And I was sure that I was going to see that. You know, she's like, she has one friend. She just joined a month ago. She only has one profile picture, but it wasn't the case. It turns out Laura just crazy. She was a real person. Like, and I started scrolling through her like Facebook page.
Does she live around here?
I think it said Raleigh.
That's too close.
Yeah, this is a little close.
Too close for comfort.
And some of her not tweets, Facebook post was stuff like, "I need a good man. Why do men have to be cheating dogs?" Like stuff
Oh
like
my
that. And I was
gosh.
like, oh, well, what have I done? And I didn't do anything. You know what I mean? I just responded to a message. So I responded. I said, "Well, Laura, I do appreciate that, but I'm happily married, so I'm going to have to end this conversation. Thanks. Also, FYI, not only is my wife beautiful and amazing, but she is crazy too. Just a friendly warning. Good luck." And I let Katie know immediately because I didn't want to get stabbed. I screenshot it. I was like, "Hey, I just want you to know I talked to this lady. She thinks I'm handsome. We ain't got nothing."
Shut it down.
Yep, shut it down. So,
So has she messaged you again?
no. So I was gonna go to her Facebook page and like on the show and like show you the stuff, and I've been blocked. So she blocked
you
me.
done. You lying, cheating dog.
Yeah, no.
You.
So anyways, I have some advice for Laura. If you think that guys are cheaters and dogs, and maybe you should stay away from the married ones.
That's probably some good
Just a
advice.
thought. What do you think, Mom? What should Laura do? They can't see you. You have to talk.
I don't want to.
Why? Why don't you want to talk?
I want to see my way out of this conversation.
What are you talking about? It's good. I saw my way out of it.
I don't know.
I did the right thing, right? As a husband, did I do the right thing?
Yes.
You did.
Yes, you did.
At the expense of, like, a listener. Because I'm assuming that she listens to the show, and she's probably not going to listen to the show anymore.
Yeah, she just needs to be patient.
Oh, I wonder if I probably shouldn't have said her real name.
You
I don't think I did. I think
Bleep it out.
her name was Jenny.
Janae.
Yeah.
Run, Forrest, run.
So let's get to the meat and potatoes. The reason that you guys are at my house tonight.
Because they wanted to see us, maybe.
That's not the case.
Well, it's a stopover rest type deal. You know what I'm saying?
So how many years ago? 15? No, more than 15. Way more than 15. 20 years ago?
Oh, it was in the 90s. So
22 years ago?
Oh my God, has it been that long?
yeah,
93, 94?
yeah,
So my dad cut his fingers off on a table saw.
yeah.
Now, did we ever tell this story?
I think so.
Well, we're getting ready to tell it again.
But I'm
is
not
what,
sure.
This is what I thought would be cool.
Saga continues.
We should, we should tell this story real quick because we have 4 different point of views
Yes.
on this story. So we have you, which it actually happened to. We have Mom, which saw it happen. Me, which I was at home, didn't know it happened, and my parents just disappeared. And you came into the marriage to find out about it.
No.
So we kind of have like 4 really different point of views on this story. So Dad, why don't you tell us what happened to your fingers?
I was at work Saturday, and your mom decided to join me, and I was cutting some rafter ties on a table saw with a jig that was set up for 4 or for 3, and I was in a hurry, and I was cutting 4 of them. And it snatched the top board into the blade and pulled my hand into it with it.
So long story short, you stuck your fingers into a table saw.
Yep. It cut 2 going in, and when I snatched it out, it cut 2 coming out. So it cut 2 one way and 2 the other. I lost 2, and they reattached the 3rd one.
This man
That's brutal.
was sitting in the hospital, and his hand looked like a giant Q-tip
Right.
from where they had like operated on it and like bandaged it up and stuff. And this nurse walks in, and what did you say to her? You were like, he said it like almost with a tear in his eye. He was like, "Do you think I'll be able to play the piano again?"
Oh my gosh.
Or play the piano? No, you said, "Do you
No,
think I'll be able
golf.
to play?" No, you said piano.
Did I say piano?
Yeah, you
Okay.
said, "Do you think I'll be able to play the piano when I get out of here?" And she goes, I'm not sure. I think
Right.
if you try real hard, maybe."
Oh my gosh.
And then he goes, "Good, because I couldn't play it before."
Oh my gosh.
And she got pissed.
She was mad.
Yeah, she was mad. She left.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny.
Okay, so walk us through it. Your fingers cut off. What happens?
So I'm in post-op.
Well, you're going way too. Let's go back
how
to the
far you
table
wanna
saw.
go? To the
What
table
happens
saw?
next? Do you gather them up? Do you throw them in a bucket? Like what?
When it happens, it's a sound. When wood meets that blade, it's a sound. But when flesh meets that blade, it's a completely different sound. And when that happened, I pulled my hand into my chest and covered it up with my other hand.
Okay.
And your mom says, "Did you cut it?" And I said, "Yeah, I think so."
Can you pick those up for me?
Yeah, so I held my hand out, and then we had a dangler.
Oh.
And that's
my
all
God.
I remember. Everything's covered in blood, and the pinky was dangling. And we had a Pontiac Grand Am.
So wait, no. Some of the fingers came off though, right?
Yeah.
We didn't look for
Yeah, we
fingers.
didn't look for fingers. We didn't look for them because it was,
We
it was
left.
too damaged. It looked like it had been put through a shredder. So it was a 10-inch blade, and it was taking out 1/8 of an inch of material when it cut. So
Okay.
you can imagine.
So you got your
It's pretty
dangler,
gory.
your bloody shirt, and you're
And a
headed to the
jacket.
Pontiac.
Remember the black jacket with the white hoodie inside? Remember those? It had 2 of them?
Yeah.
That's what I had that day. So when I put my hand inside that jacket, that's where the blood was going. Inside that jacket against my chest.
Yeah. I bet that smelled good.
So we went to New Hanover.
So you get in the car to go to the hospital.
Yeah.
Did you have anything like wrapped around your hand, or are you just like?
inside of that jacket, I had it
Oh
stuck
my
inside my
gosh!
chest, inside that white.
Like how covered in blood were you when you got to the hospital?
The jacket was full. That was the whole. I talked today to this doctor. We'll get there in a minute, I guess. But
Oh my god!
he said something about the stuff that he was putting in my finger was going to hold the blood back. Well, I was glad I was bleeding that day because the old New Hanover Hospital, all they had was a table, a nurse, and people sitting in chairs against the wall, and you had to wait your turn when you went in there. So I had that hand in that jacket pulled up to my chest, and it's bleeding the whole time. It had to be. I mean, it was too much open. It was an open wound. And when I walked to the table, she didn't even look at me, and she said, "Sir, you'll have to go down there at the end of the line
Oh my
and wait your
gosh.
turn." And I opened up the jacket and said, "I don't think so." And when she immediately looked up into my jacket, she jumped up and she said, "Sir, you come with me." And they pulled me straight back to the back. And then everything else was after that. Doctor came in, they operated on it. I didn't hurt the first time until he told me to make a fist. And I asked him, I said, "Why do you want me to make a fist?" He said, "So I can see what's working." So when I made the fist, that's when they started dumping the painkiller in me because it went ballistic.
Oh my gosh.
And all 4 fingers were damaged.
Okay. View number 2, Mother Dearest.
Oh, I hate that.
So you tell me from the beginning what
No
happened.
wire hanger.
Right? I never saw blood, period. None.
Ooh,
I didn't.
can't say blood
think
period in the same sentence.
I think she did. She just blocked it out.
Gotcha.
I know. I never saw it. But when he held his hand up and he dangled, I almost passed out. And
And I let her drive me to the hospital.
yeah, I had to drive, and I had a plan. I weren't stopping. If the cops were going to get me, they were going to escort me. I wasn't going to stop, so I'm running red lights. I mean, I slowed down to make sure ain't nobody coming.
Come and get me, coppers!
But when I saw there wasn't nobody there, I went.
We had that blue Pontiac Grand Am, remember?
Right.
It would fly. It wasn't nothing but 6 of them in the hood, but it would fly.
And I didn't stop until we got there. I mean, I slowed down, but I just kept going. Now, here's some more of my part of the story that, like, where you were at home and didn't know. I had called Sherry because she was supposed to go to work. And I told her to call work and tell them that she couldn't go to work because I needed her to babysit. And I told her Daddy got hurt, but I didn't tell her. I didn't want her to panic.
Right.
So I didn't tell her exactly what happened. I told her I had to take him to the hospital. He's going to be fine. And
Now, let me start my point of view now. So she calls Sherry. Dad got hurt. Call in. Watch BJ. It's fine. Because I was young. I was pretty young. So we're just chilling in the house. We had one of them aluminum houses with the wheels on the bottom. I remember being in the living room, that big rectangular box, and the phone rings. And it's like, it echoes through the house. You know what I mean? So she answers it, and there's this guy on the other end. Was it Bart? Who was it?
Tony.
Tony?
Yeah.
Now, Tony doesn't know that Mom called and talked to Sherry because what Tony knows is he showed up afterwards and walks up on this table saw covered in blood. I'm sure there's a finger laying somewhere. And you guys are set up in sections, so he knew it was you. He knew it was your stuff.
Yep.
So he calls the house, because this is back before everybody had cell phones and whatnot. And he says to Sherry, "Oh my God, what happened? There's blood everywhere. Somebody must have died."
And that was like turning on the panic switch. And then you turn
Yup.
it
Now, we don't know how to get up with our parents because, once again, there's no cell phones or anything. And now
Oh my
we're just at
gosh.
home
Panicking.
Just panicking.
running
Just-
circles and throwing. We can't do nothing. There's
Right.
nothing we can do.
Right.
Oh
Nothing
my
we can do.
gosh.
Nothing.
But God is good because Danny and Janet stopped by and y'all told Danny and Janet what you knew.
Yeah, Dad's
and
dead.
they brought him up
Mom
to the
lied.
hospital.
And we don't have any parents.
Oh, that was really nice.
Yeah, that was cool.
So how that plays into today.
So y'all didn't know until you got to the hospital
Right.
exactly what
They
happened.
knew he was hurt, but they didn't know how
and
bad.
knew apparently there was blood everywhere.
Yeah, well, Tony, the way Tony talked, we was going to get there and Dad was going to be in a coma and he wouldn't come back out of it. Because it sounded like there was...
See, that makes me want to cry right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Because that was...
What you
and
put
see, I didn't
your
want...
children through was rough.
You need to
You make your mom
quit.
cry.
every
need to
every
quit.
now and then, me and Sherry talk on the phone and we just talk about how bad that was for us.
Stop.
Like mentally, everything bad that's happened in my life since then, it spawns from that moment.
Terrible. Oh my god.
So here we are again today.
22, 23 years later.
Yeah. So I mashed my finger on my right hand, my middle finger on my right hand, in a mailbox lid. Don't ask me how. I
You were
guess it
chasing
was
that
just,
mailman?
I guess it was just slow. Getting out of the way when I pushed my palm up against it, so it would dangle down. But anyway, so when I slammed that lid shut, my finger was there, and it mashed it above the nail, up in the meat above the nail. So,
Now this ain't even one of the fingers you got cut.
no,
This
was
This is a
4
normal
months ago.
normal finger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So at the same time, my ring finger on my left hand, which was cut and partially reattached, the nail grows funky. Split down the middle. One side grows to the right, one side grows to the left. And then there's a hook nail that comes out on either side above those two whenever it wants to.
Take my good hand.
Yeah, right. So I figure at the same time I'll have them looked at. The other one's not healing, so I need them to look at that too. So today they biopsied that finger, the one on the right hand, the good
The
finger.
quote unquote good one.
Right. So they biopsy that hand, and they biopsy the nail bed. To biopsy the nail bed, they have to remove the nail. So they remove the nail on
From what finger?
the middle finger.
The good one.
Oh, that's the one that had like that aluminum foil looking stuff on it?
Yes, and that's to keep the bed in place and to keep the follicle split so
To
the nail
keep
can
the
grow.
bed in place?
Yeah,
So if you take the aluminum foil off your finger?
it's raw
Oh,
meat there.
my God. You ever had something stick in your cuticle before?
Yes.
Could you imagine the whole top of your finger feeling that way?
No, I can't.
So to hold that in place, they got 10 stitches in it all the way around it.
The aluminum foil.
whole
in place.
thing.
In his
Aluminum
Iron Man
foil
nail.
in place.
Is that what you call it? The Iron Man nail?
Iron Man, that's called an Iron Man nail.
That's pretty cool looking though.
So they
It's like a silver fingernail.
they
Yeah.
biopsied it for what reason? They think there could be something.
Well, they have a tendency to believe that melanoma starts that way in some cases. The fingernail split, it grew out sideways, and that's the damaged stuff that had died in there was still in there, and it was black looking.
What's melanoma?
It's a skin cancer.
Did you wash your hands before you touched my table?
No.
Oh my gosh.
Well, I don't know. Nobody knows. It could be that.
and I
Could be that.
licked-
You
I
could
licked
spread
the,
that probably. Maybe.
Oh my god.
I mean, it spreads throughout your body. Why couldn't it spread on the table
And I
and
licked
into
the edge of
us?
those plates in there too. That had that. Ranch dressing
they were
on 'em?
paper plates. It's fine.
So, 20 years later, I'm having the fingers operated on again. And when this heals, I'm going back to let them fix this ring finger on the left hand so I won't catch that fingernail every time I stick my hand in my pocket. So I've been waiting on that for 20 years because ever since I've cut my fingers, it does that. I had to keep it cut short, or when I run my hand in my pocket, it catches the nail and bends it back like a hat bill on a hat. You know what I'm saying? So
That sounds awful.
Yeah.
so now I'm fine tuning.
So when
to
do we find out if you have cancer?
6 days.
That's really fast. Will they just take your whole hand off? If like
No, they're done as far as that goes. As far as I know, because they got everything out. The fingernail, they took the fingernail out. They took part of the bed out because that's what they wanted to biopsy.
oh, so they took the
and
stuff
they took
that they
that
were
other
like,
stuff.
this might be
the black
something weird.
stuff, they took it out too, so it's
okay,
all gone.
okay.
So I'm hoping if they come back and say, well, you know what? I think we got it. If that's what it was, or they're going to come back and say, man, it won't nothing. That was just some nasty, dead, funky stuff you had in your finger. You know what I mean? And
I'm gonna tell you
go
what.
on.
Like, if they called me and was like, "Well, we checked the stuff. We think we got it all, but it was cancerous," I'd be like, "Well, I need you to meet me at the hospital. The finger's off."
2 knuckle deep. Right?
Yeah.
Into here, and because I already got 2. I mean, it's no
We'll
big
just
deal.
make it match.
Right, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, because I'd rather cut here than here, or
You guys have seen that movie 4 Rooms, right? That like Quentin Tarantino, Robert Rodriguez movie with the hotel with the butler, and he had to go to all the different rooms, and then eventually, like, he's having a real bad day. He's a real timid guy, and then finally goes up to this like a suite, like a presidential suite, right? Like, you walk in there, you can tell everybody partying's rich. You know what I mean? And there's this guy, and he's like, "Yeah, man, this is my lucky lighter. It lights every single time." And he's drunk. You know what I mean? It's like, lights every time. And then, like, he gets in this weird bet with this guy.
I have seen that.
Yeah. So he goes, "Okay, this is what we're going to do. You're going to light your lighter one time. And if it works, you get my car." I think it wasn't his car, and he had like some kind of crazy $2 million car. And he says, "And if he doesn't, I'm going to chop your finger off." I was like, "Well, who's going to chop his finger off? I'm not chopping his finger off." And that's when the bellboy walked in, and he calls me. He's like, "Hey, we want to talk to you for a minute. We got this bet." And, he tells him the whole story, and he's like, "So I want you to take this cleaver, and if he misses it, chop that finger off." And he says, "I'm getting out of here. I'm chopping that finger off." And the guy goes, "Well, hang on one second. Let me talk to you." And as he's saying that, he's laying these $100 bills down on the table. And it ends up being like $1,000 or something. And the guy goes, okay, let's do it. And he folds the money up, puts it in his pocket. And
That was like his breaking point.
yeah, oh yeah, he's
He was
snapped
like,
at this point. He's like,
yeah,
my
I'm
day's over. So,
Have you seen it?
so the guy puts his hand on the table, or puts his finger on the table, right? And he holds the lighter up, and he strikes it. And no flame comes out. And it must have been a millisecond. That bellboy said, that dude's finger came off. The bellboy holds the money up. He starts whistling and just walks out the room. The guy's screaming like there's people panicking. They're throwing fingers in a bucket. And he's just like, time to clock out.
Right.
It was pretty amazing.
So now let me check.
That's
your
not
memory.
the same. That's not the same
what
movie.
we remember was Creep Show 2, the two guys playing poker. And at the
Yeah.
end of the scene, none of them had any fingers. They was somebody else dealing the
They
cards.
didn't have legs. They didn't have
Oh my
nothing.
gosh.
It was
I
bad.
remember that. Have you
Yeah.
ever seen that?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think
They
I
were
would
like,
remember
they were
that.
playing poker and they
Playing
started
poker.
betting body
So they
parts.
betting.
Oh my God.
It was just
Yeah,
one of
by
those
the time
weird
it was
movies.
over, they didn't have arms.
The
They didn't
first
have
body part that
legs.
gets cut off, I'm like, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done.
Yeah.
Not playing cards anymore.
See, now, Creep Show... Wait, which one was that one? Was that Creep Show?
2.
That's Creep Show 2?
Yeah, I think so.
So the original one, Creep Show 1, that's the one with the monster under the stairs, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the one that I think I showed you one time where the guy...
Bedelia.
Yeah, it's got that one.
No,
in it, too.
is it Bedelia?
I want my cake, but
No, that's a different one.
That's it.
I mean, that's the same one, but the like there's a bunch of shows in with that same one.
Is that one of the
That
ones
was
that
a
has the
different one.
roaches?
Yep, that's one of
Yes.
the roaches.
I can't believe you made me watch that. I remember
that
it
roach
vividly.
went inside his mouth.
There was so many giant roaches.
He had that little suction thing. Remember, he would wipe something,
Yeah.
and lay it over there, and hit that button, and the thing would go.
Suck it up.
It's gone.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's cool. But anyway, so now we're just gonna heal. I don't feel anything yet. The nail area is starting to burn a little bit, so I guess feeling's coming back.
So in 7 days, are you going to come back and reveal on the show whether or not you have cancer?
Sure.
Jeez Louise.
What? What good
It's
is having
already
a dad if you
scheduled.
can't exploit him for ratings?
It's already scheduled for the 6th.
Of July?
Yep.
What, to just come and talk?
No, they're gonna come and cut that stitch right there at the end of at the nail bed.
Oh, and pull the aluminum foil off?
Pick it up and then leave it alone so the nail can grow underneath it. And I told Katie and your mom earlier tonight, they told me that I'm going to have a shiny nail. It's not going to look like a regular fingernail. It'll be real
What?
shiny. Yeah.
Because it's going to grow out.
It's going to be a bionic nail.
It's going to grow underneath that stuff, so it's going to be really
It'll
smooth
be
and
really
shiny.
smooth, slick, and shiny.
You're going to be a superhero called the Nailman.
Well, right?
Like, you'll be the Nailman at night and the mailman during the day.
AKA mailman, right?
Oh my god.
Oh, you're going to be the fingernail superhero. Like, okay, so what are your powers? Like all right, so this happens, right? And something weird happens. They lift it up. This shiny, weird fingernail grows back. What is the superpower that comes with your fingernail?
Letter opener, maybe.
You're going to just go around opening letters for people?
Yeah, no, I'll just look in their letters and see what they get. No, I'm just kidding.
Look for the good
Yeah,
stuff.
that's prison time right there. You know what I mean? So, but anyway.
What if it's like from that movie, Meteor Man? Do you guys remember that?
Yeah.
Who played in that movie?
I don't
I
remember.
wanted to say Richard Pryor, but it wasn't Richard Pryor.
Cast of Meteor Man.
It was his. It was a friend of his. What was that guy's name? I don't remember right offhand.
Excuse me.
Siri knows.
We have quiet time.
Right?
Hey Siri,
She's taking a break.
who played Meteor Man?
Robert Townsend.
That's him.
And Bill Cosby was in it.
Yeah.
Ooh, Bill Cosby was in it.
Yeah.
James Earl Jones, Eddie Griffin.
Richard Pryor wasn't in it. Richard Pryor and Eddie Townsend's good friends. That's why I put
Sinbad was in it.
Yeah.
Big Daddy Kane. Luther Vandross was in it. There's a lot of famous people in this movie.
Yeah, there
Holy
was.
crap.
They all lived in the same neighborhood, but I can't remember who the villain
Wallace
was.
Shawn
Who
was
was
in
the
it.
villain?
John Witherspoon.
Who was the villain?
The villain.
Vandross?
Who played the villain?
The guy that was wanting to knock the neighborhood down, right? He was wanting to tear the neighborhood down or something.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, you're
and
right. It was
rebuild
Luther Vandross. Yeah.
Luther Vandross, yeah.
So anyways, have you seen that movie?
I think it's been a long time.
So one of the things, he got hit by a meteor, and one of the things he could do was like he could touch a book, and for like 30 seconds he could know and do everything inside the book. So like maybe that's your superpower.
Maybe so. That
Like
would be
this
great.
shiny nail comes out and you can place it on things and you magically know everything inside of a book.
That would be crazy. That would be great. Maybe I'll learn how to do my tablet to its full potential.
So Dad becomes a superhero and the first thing he's like, I really want to learn how to use a tablet.
Or maybe his fingernail becomes an antenna and he can pull in radio stations.
Right?
Like, your Wi-Fi signal could be so strong.
You can see me walking around like this most of the time.
Oh my god.
Looking at
His middle
people in the,
finger.
you know what I mean?
Excuse me, I'm just trying to get signal here.
Right.
Excuse me.
Why is that old man flipping everybody off?
Just trying to get a response. That's all.
That's pretty great. The Nail Man.
Right?
Well, you know how we used to put tinfoil on the end of the
Our heads. She made us
Antenna.
put tinfoil on our heads in the trailer when we were
way
younger.
back.
on the end of the antenna wires.
You're giving away our age now.
Oh, to like get better signals.
Reception,
Yeah, so
Yeah,
you could watch the president.
yeah, but it
that
was sad because when you turn it and then you
click, click, click.
walk away, you try to walk away, it would go.
Yeah.
And you'd
There
have to
was,
go back
there
and
was
touch
one
it.
day
Yeah.
I know that Dad made me stand at TV for like 30 minutes just touching it with my finger so he could watch something. Like he used me as an antenna. That's a true story. That happened.
That's how it worked.
I mean, you know, why else do you have kids? I asked Riley today when he was going to start mowing the grass, and he said that we had to buy him a lawnmower. I said, what's wrong with the one we got? He said, I don't want to buy my own. I told him he'd best get a job. So
You were trying to give him a job.
I wasn't going to pay him.
So you
Like,
want
all the
him...
times I've wiped
Like how
his
you-
butt, he's going
that's
to
what
mow
I'm
the
saying.
grass for
That's why I used to
free.
tell my youngest, pay you. I feed you. I give you a place to sleep. I wash your drawers.
Yeah, but we're smart. We were
know?
smarter than that as kids. Like as kids, you'd be like, yeah, but if you don't do any of that stuff, you go to jail.
Right. But I need the pine cones picked up too. Do you remember that? I used to pay pretty good money to pick up pine cones.
I never really got money from you for pine cones. I got that from
Aunt Mary.
Aunt Mary. Yeah. So I would go to Hartsville on the summer times and hang out with my grandparents, and Mary would call and be like, "We want BJ to come over and pick up these pine cones." And like the first time, so my grandfather looks at me and he's like, "Hey, you want to make $25?" I'm like, yeah, I want to make $25. That's a lot of money, you know what I mean? And he's like, "Oh, we're Aunt Mary wants you to go to pick up some pine cones." And I was like, "Okay, I could pick up some pine cones."
For $25? Heck yeah.
Yeah, let's go pick up some
Easy
pine
money.
cones. So he takes me over there, he drops me off, and we're inside. And finally, she goes, "All right, let me take you outside and we show you these pine cones." And her yard must have been 2 acres with 1,000 trees. Yes. I picked up pine cones for hours.
Oh my god.
My fingers were bleeding.
You didn't have gloves?
No.
Oh gosh.
I seriously probably filled up 10 5-gallon buckets with pine cones. And I'm just walking around bending over and picking them up. And like I'm trying to be all gentle and like get my fingers down in between the cracks because, you know, the end of the pine cones got them like jabbers on it.
Spur things, yeah.
You got to get that one little piece at the top. The
Yeah.
little like stem. It's like the only one that won't stab you.
So the following summer, I go back and my grandfather gets a phone call and he goes, "Hey, you want to make $25?" I said, "I do not want to make $25.
I am good.
And then which point
gonna do it anyway.
I got the conversation about how it was good for me. I needed to grow up. And I said, "Well, we have to stop by the store on the way because I need socks." So I made him go buy me a pair of tube socks and I pulled them about halfway up my arm to where they dangled off. And I would go and I would slap
Oh my gosh.
them
I
pine
wish I could
cones.
see you out in the yard with dangly socks on your hands slapping pine cones.
Yeah, I would slap.
They would have to stick to the sock.
They
There
did.
you go.
They
And
absolutely
then
stuck
you
to 'em.
slap the bucket and they'd come off.
Slam them right in the bucket. And then I did it every year after that, yeah. And some people would be like, "Why didn't you just buy gloves?" Because gloves was expensive. To get like a good pair of gloves, you had to pay $10. I got a pair of socks for like $2. But I was out there like Edward Scissorhands, flipping them socks around, picking up them pine cones. I did that every summer.
Oh my gosh.
You know what else I did? Aluminum cans. Because our grandfather, the only thing he would drink, like when soda, it was out of a can. Like he always had canned drinks. So we go
It's
over
better
there.
that way.
Yeah,
It
and
tastes
he-
better. I don't know why. It just does.
He made me crush them, separate them. Oh my gosh. We'd go up there with bags and bags. And I remember we got like $30 or something like that. And he'd give me like $20. I'm like, "Oh my God, I'm rich."
His daughter used to call him the drink can Nazi.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Because he would go around and check everybody's can and make sure they had drank all their drink.
Oh, yeah.
If not, he would go ballistic.
He'd be like, whose drink is that?
Yes, wasting his drink. Yeah. Yeah.
And it wasn't even like he went out and bought Coca-Colas. He bought like Sam's colas.
Yeah, there was
you know what I
always
mean?
like, yeah, choice.
RC
But
cola.
I know for was it Reese's party? We had canned drinks.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was cleaning up, I threw away probably 20 cans
Oh, yeah.
that were like half full or
My dad
more.
would get so mad.
Yeah, he would have lost his
I
mind.
was like, what? Who does all these drinks belong to?
Yeah. He jumped on my sister one day, and that's what she told him. She said, "You ain't nothing but a drink can Nazi."
Maybe if somebody else worked all week, come on and buy these drinks, they drink the whole can while they sit there. Oh, yeah, he was lighting up.
18 cents a can. For them drinks, man, back then. It was
Man,
funny.
so, speaking of, I'm about to go sad with this real quick. Obviously, he passed away. He's not with us anymore. I miss his ice cream.
Yep.
That man could make some peach ice cream that when you ate it, you would just go,
Yep.
like, it was crazy good.
Yep.
Crazy good.
You'd eat it till you get
You
a
got
brain
sick.
freeze.
Yeah.
You'd get a brain freeze. Homemade ice cream.
We
gives you
were
a brain
going to
freeze.
try to make some when we went down there, but we
Yeah,
never did.
We never did. And I think
Is
that's why.
the old
because-
ice cream maker still there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we went and dug
And we
it
went
out.
and got peaches too
We
to
went and
make
got the
it.
peaches,
You know,
but
I've
Where did you get the peaches from?
Max Pride.
Did you?
Max.
We got the good peaches.
Yeah.
I have always heard about this ice cream. Mm-hmm. I've heard about it for 11 years now, and in all the years I've been a part of this family, I ain't never seen nobody make ice cream.
Nope.
It was always him.
It was him. He was the one
Nobody.
And when you ask Mama, she's like, "Oh, I can't remember the ingredients and all that." And I know she can. She just don't want to go through.
Yeah.
I mean, because he was the only one that made it. You know what I mean? So,
Right.
but I'm gonna have to get it out of her,
Well,
and we'll just make a trip and get some peaches and make some homemade ice cream.
welcome to the comedy show.
Right? And if it don't turn out, then
Could you imagine a room full of people eating ice cream so sad? Be like,
yeah.
yeah, right.
This is the saddest ice cream I've had in my life.
All right.
You want me to get rid of it? No, I'm keeping it. So what about you? You got any nice memories from your dead grandfather?
Are we talking about dead grandpa still?
Yeah, that's... No? You don't want to talk about anything?
No.
Let me tell you what her grandpa used to do. This man smoked like a chimney. Like... And he would ride in his truck with the windows up. Like, he wouldn't crack them at all.
Like, we'd be kids, like little kids. He would have, like, as many grandkids as he could fit in the car.
Yeah.
We'd be little, and he'd be smoking with the windows up, and we're like, Grandpa, crack the
You know
window.
your granddaddy used to do that too.
And he
Used to do that too. And
he was like,
Roger would get so
what?
mad.
And it's like, because I guess that's how he did it when he was riding by himself. Mm-hmm. And he was like, oh, I forgot. Every time, oh, I forgot.
I think just them old smokers, man. Them old smokers, they wanted it all.
Like, if you gonna smoke, you gonna
they
smoke
get
it all.
And get every bit of it, you know what I mean?
The first time around, the second time around, you gonna get it all.
Be blowing smoke out and taking breaths of another smoke at the same time.
Yeah, right?
I remember one day he asked me to clean his windshield inside and out. And he was like, here, instead of paper towels, I want you to use newspaper because it works better. And I was like, okay. Oh my God, the nicotine on the inside of his windshield was ridiculous. It made my arm sore. I scrubbed and scrubbed with newspaper.
How much he pay you?
Nothing.
Why you do it?
Because he's my grandpa and I love him.
Okay.
That's what you do.
Yep.
I would have to pick up pecans out the yard. Not as painful as pine cones, but we had pecan trees in the yard. And my grandma was like, let's go pick up some pecans. And oh my God.
So,
Grandma had a
Yeah.
pecan picker-upper thing.
He eventually got one of those,
Can't
but
pick her upper.
I want one of them picker-upper
Fantastic.
things.
fantastic invention. You know
the
what
little,
I mean?
like, it was like a bucket.
Yeah.
It had
with, like-
wires, separated
Yeah.
wires on the
Yeah.
bottom.
So
you could just-
force it down on it and it popped them right in there and filled it
When
up.
he got
all
that,
up.
I was like, all these pecans I done picked up, we could have been using this whole time.
Right?
Yeah, that was like,
Yeah.
So like once he got older, even like he'd be out there in his wheelchair just picking up
pecans.
pecans.
Yeah, because it's simple. Then, no energy spent.
He found some teeth one time in dirt. Mm-hmm. He used to dig in the dirt and find teeth.
Where?
Horse teeth. But I think I found one human tooth too.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Metal detector. I don't know what the deal was with it, but anyway.
Well,
that's-
Could have been some kind of superstitious thing. Lost a tooth and then you pull a horse tooth and bury it in the same hole. I don't know. It could have been anything.
Are you making that up?
No. I found the horse tooth and the human tooth in the same hole.
Poor horse.
Digging a piece of lead. Yeah. The metal detector went off on the lead and the horse tooth and the human tooth was in the same
So
hole.
how big is a horse tooth? I bet that's huge.
It was pretty big. About the size of a quarter, a little bit bigger than a quarter.
You still got it?
Square. Yeah. And the reason I know it's a human tooth, because it has the root and it has the front part of the enamel. This part. You know what I mean? And that's the kind of tooth it looks like a front tooth.
Are you Googling about horse teeth?
I am.
Did you find anything?
No.
But it was weird to find
weird.
it in a hole like that.
So think about some of the cool stuff you found. And then in like 7 days when we find out if you have cancer, we'll either just cry here at the table together or we'll talk about stuff you found in the hole.
Fantastic.
Sound good?
Sure.
I look forward to it.
Thank you guys for being on the podcast with us.
You're welcome.
It's fun.
I enjoyed it.
Mom.
You're welcome.
She always like smiles when we sit down, and within like 10 minutes, she's like, I don't want to do this anymore.
No, I'm fine. I was just sitting here thinking, I don't know how much was funny for it to be a comedy. Tonight was like serious.
Why so serious?
Can you do that voice, but do our sign off?
I guess.
Yeah, do that. Sign us off.
Bye.
You don't know it.
No.
You my dad. You don't listen to our show? Oh my God, it's
I think my
heartbreaking.
parents just listened to their first one
Yeah.
the other day.
I listen to it.
Episode
I don't ever listen to the very end of it.
100.
Mom, do you know the sign off?
Give me a second.
Riley knows it.
You're breaking my
Find
heart.
your
here.
laugh. Find your funny.
We'll give her
It's
a
close.
1.5 for that one.
What? Did I have it backwards?
It's find your laugh, find your happy. So do the Joker voice. Sign us off.
Find your laugh. Find your happy.
That didn't sound like it.
No, you can try it again.
Find your laugh. Find your happy.
He's fixing to sing it. You're about to song and dance. Here it comes. Do the why so serious.
Why so serious?
No, you did different a while
voicing voice
ago.
now.
Find your laugh. Find your happy.
That sounded like movie phone guy.
Movie phone guy?
You know, like the movie previews. Yeah.
I give up. This has been a Cabcast Studios production. For more episodes and information, visit cabcaststudios.com.